Last time on the Alpha Male Universe.
And I'd have to agree to disagree then. I'd argue that I have the superior hairstyle every male should have. And, as a full-grown man, how are you going to have your forehead open and exposed, glowing? All the time that tell me, Vince, your girl's only with you for the money and this, that, and...
A few moments later.
One talks about how hard it is to be an influencer, huh? You know how my day started? I had to wake up at 8 a.m. I had to do my makeup, I had to do my hair, I had to get dressed, and I had to go to this healthy event. I had to take a lot of pictures, videos.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Welcome back to the Alpha Male Universe. So it's been several weeks since we last checked in with the greasiest pubes in Breakout Miami, Vincent Fischer. And you know what, honestly, it's a good break from all the seriousness of the princess drama. Whenever we need a good laugh, we just gotta look at pubes. Wait, that's, you know what, they're moving on, all right? You get what I mean. So long story short, he is still crashing out. People are still, quote, hating on him. And he has a whole lot to say to his haters. It is going to be a fun one, guys. You know what? We've recently hit 55,000 strong, and I honestly wanted to say thank you to the community. And if you want to join laughing at all of these alfalfa lames, then consider hitting that subscribe button. So you know what? Without further ado, let's get this show on the road.
I mean, listen, to be a full-grown adult male and spend half your day with another man's cock lodged in your throat who's more successful than you is gay. Well, Vince, I don't like this dude, and that dude's not actually as successful as he says. It's like, big dog, you are broke. You are gay. It's just like, what are you building in your life? Well, Vince, I'm beefing with this one guy. It's like, that nigga does not know you. Let's focus on what you're building so you don't feel the need to hate.
When you got another man talking about having his junk down your throat, he's pretty rattled mentally. And it's kind of funny, it's very curious that the greasiest pubes in Breakout Miami complain so much about his haters, because every single Vincent Fischer episode will always feature a segment where he's whining about the haters. I find it funny because in the grand scheme of the AMU, I feel like he is one of these characters that doesn't really get criticized as much, but honestly whines the most. This guy's just a straight up lame.
These guys online that post their girl or their penthouse or their car, it's like, bro, I don't care about any of that, man. I'm a 6-figure business owner. Can I get a girl to save my life? Absolutely not. But, I've made 6 figures online, so I've had some proof. Like profit margins, 5%.
Yeah, this guy is cooked, man. He is up all night reading the haters' comments about him, so much so that he is literally trying to reenact what they may look like. And I find that actually even funnier, that he thinks that somebody who hates on him is maybe ugly or something like that, when in reality, it's probably just your average Joe with a family and a house that's not rented, mind you, criticizing this lame, but it just totally rattles him.
I mean, listen, to be a full-grown adult male and not do something then call it a scam is gay. Because you're bitching online, you come to me 3 months later, Vince, it didn't work for me, what can we do? I'm like, big dog, I don't see a post in sight. Nothing works unless you work. What'd you implement? Well, Vince, I posted once, then I took it down, I didn't like the way I looked, and I didn't know what my friends were going to think. It's like, big dog, you're back and forth deciding your sexuality because you're gay. Less overthinking, more action. This is your problem. You value the opinions of your broke friends over your own success. You're sitting there circle at each other, bro, the online thing doesn't work, bro, the online thing doesn't work, and you're all broke. Not taking action. It's like, let's lock in. If you went to the store and bought a yo-yo, and you played with it one time and then put it down and never picked it back up, is the yo-yo a scammer? You're just a dumbass. Lock in.
I feel like entertaining this nonsensical argument makes me dumber. It makes you dumber. He doesn't understand that the whole life coach industry, could you even call it an industry? Maybe comment down below your thoughts on that one. But basically, there is no good produced. All it boils down to is an attempt to become a swole cow, get milked, get gadooshed on, and maybe 1 or 2 people will like you to pay for your service, which is all AI generated anyway, no real wisdom. I mean, you can get as many weird Socrates tattoos and as much grease in your hair, pubes, Watson, but you're never gonna actually be smart. You know what, actually, how about this? How about you move that balloon animal in the background and prove that you own that apartment? I'm pretty sure you don't own anything at all, and that's why you're being sued by Cario.
People hit me up and they go, Vince, there's no good women out there the way the world is now. I'm like, there's no good women for you because you're gay. It's the same exact mentality that's kept us stuck. I mean, we could sit and complain about how the world is, which I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. We can change our mindset, change our habits, and change ourselves to become the man that does get the girl. You know, it's like, where's the old path gotten you? Bitching, complaining, your broke friends are doing the same thing. Oh yeah, bro, these girls, bro. And you sit and each other off. It's like, bro, how about we lift some weights? How about we build decent habits? How about we make some money? And then we can get all the things we bitch about. Vince, I don't know how to get in shape. Vince, I don't know how to make money. It's like, bro, the link is right there. You know, I get on and post it every single day, Architect Army. I'm going to show you how to get in shape and what to do each day. I'm going to show you how to make money from your phone step by step, but you're still going to bitch. You know, well, Vince, what's the catch? You just want my money, bro. It's 7 days free. After that, it's $49 a month if you like it. You know, that's not even 1% of the rent of where I live. It's this same skeptical ass mentality that's kept us fat and broke. You know, do we want to level up or do we want to bitch? Jump inside.
You know, I honestly think that $49.99 a month is still too much for this greasy pubes hair. Like, honestly, I find it really funny that he's had to drop his price down so much. I remember back in the day when Vincent Fischer was grifting even crazier, he was charging people tens of thousands of dollars. But now, because he's been stretched out so many times and people just laugh at him, he's resorted now to making $50 off a sucker. And I bet you that it's impossible to cancel the subscription. So once you tune into the Architect Army, I'm pretty sure you have to pay for the rest of your life or maybe even get lawyers involved. Well, let's jump on over when he starts complaining about his girl once again and how people are calling her a gold digger. This is going to be a theme throughout every single Vincent Fischer episode. It's going to be complaining about the haters and complaining that people don't like his lady.
So showing your wife's tits online to get views, big dog, excuse me? Whose tits? Last time I checked, it was my credit card that did the swiping. Those are my tits, fam. It was a business investment. Tax write-off. You know, listen, a day will come where my kids ask me, Dad, how are you so rich and successful? How'd you prove everyone wrong? We have jets, we have yachts, we have cruise ships. How'd you do it? And I'm going to say, listen, man, you know, one day I was sitting pondering, and I thought of a light bulb moment where I just decided to wake up and call everyone gay.
There isn't anything impressive about flexing your lady's fake bazumbos. Like, oh wow, full of silicone, Lego, plastic. That's something that we're gonna brag about. This shit is just so corny. And guess what? It's not original because we saw another alpha male who's being bent over in jail. He used to flex about how he paid for all of his lady's fake tetas, and look how that played out for him. It's not a flex at all. It's just so stupid. Like, just keep it all natural. You got A cups, you got A cups. You got triple F cups or whatever, then you got triple F. So it is what it is. Let's just embrace who we are. But because he wants to talk about his girl's fake tetas, I figured I'd show her once again in this AMU episode. So let's tune in and prepare yourself for the brain rot.
I'm a gold digger and I've never worked a single day in my life. That's what about 90% of the comments under my videos say. But here is a funny fact about me. I've actually been working since I was 14 years old. So back in Russia, I worked in my mom's store. Then I worked at an advertising agency. When I moved to the United States, I worked as a nanny. I worked as a hostess in a bunch of restaurants. I did like a bunch of promo work. I worked as a model. And I even...
Hold up. Is she wearing pubes on her? I'm not talking about down there in her lady parts. I'm talking about the greasy ass pubes Vincent Fischer. What is going on? Oh my God. Oh, just make the Skonka lady a side DLC character. You know, she worked at a modeling agency. Wow, that's such hard work. Not really doing yourself any favor with getting rid of this narrative.
And I even organized like girls' dinner parties and a few events. Oh, and as well, I worked at Subway making sandwiches. Only for about a week, but still it counts. I also learned how to do eyelash extensions, even though I never ended up working in that field. So the idea that I've never worked is actually pretty funny to me. At the same time, I do believe something the internet loves to argue about. In a healthy relationship, a man should provide. And that doesn't make a woman a gold digger. To me, that's just a natural dynamic. But also I believe that even if a man provides, a woman should still have something of her own. Something she enjoys, something that helps her grow. For me, that's social media and building my brand. But the most important thing is that a woman keeps developing herself, so she never loses herself inside a relationship.
Oh, okay, so she handled a couple of girl dinner parties, whatever that means. She posted some photos on Instagram, and that makes her a model. And then finally, she made a sandwich for a date. Send that resume over to Wall Street, man. They need to hire her. So she wants to make some commentary about like the social dynamics between men and women. And of course, you know, the primary argument's always going to be that the man is the provider, right? And I don't really disagree with that notion, but I don't think a man should provide for a skonka. I'm just going to keep it real, man. Like, there's a reason why the skonkas get clapped, and there's a reason why certain women become wives, right? It is what it is. Sometimes people are in their skonka era, and okay, that's fine. And then there are some people who want to be in their wife era. But this lady is definitely in that whole Brickel BBL world, and you're telling me you want to provide for her? You know what? If you provide for this lady, you deserve to get rinsed for everything you own.
I mean, listen, to be a full-grown man and to send another man an emoji, outside of maybe a strong emoji or 100 emoji, you're gay. Because why are we showing any emotion to another man? Over text especially. It's like, this isn't therapy. You know, it's like, why are you sending me a smiley face, bro? It's like, what's funny? You need to take your life more serious, bro. Time is ticking. I mean, listen, to be a man and have any response to how you doing outside of I'm good, bro, you're gay. You know, because it's just like, I didn't ask you for a therapy session. I wanted to heart check you, see where your head was at. If I say, bro, how you been? And you're like, Vince, it's been really tough, bro. And I'm glad you reached out. I'm on the edge, and it blocked. You know, because I can't have on my team.
You know, people hit me up and they go, Vince, how do you stay confident in spite of pressure and challenges? I'm like, bro, just don't be, don't be gay. You know, there's one exercise I like to give people, and I like to ask them, are you right-handed or left-handed? Okay, left-handed? Take your left hand, grab your ball sack, and stop being a bitch. That's it.
I feel like it's this final clip that really confirms that Vincent Fischer, while we all laugh and joke about him, is truly an alfalfa male grifter, because you have to understand this. In the whole like life coach scene, these people will try to create a weird like parasocial illusion where they're rooting for you, that they care for you, but at the end of the day, they just want your money. And to the reasonable man and woman, right, like myself, yourself watching this video, you clearly understand that, right? But the person who is being manipulated doesn't, and that's why it's a grift. That's why I say these dudes finesse people. And while this whole thing is like a comedy show, there is a lot of truth to what we are saying here, that these people are genuinely pieces of shit. Now someone may say, oh, you're triggered, you're so triggered that this guy was talking crap about someone being honest. I'm just really pointing out the fact that these dudes don't give a shit about anyone. So that's gonna conclude this AMU episode. Hopefully you had a laugh or two, and if you enjoyed it so much so, then please be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comment section so I can welcome you to the community myself. Be sure to smash that like button, and I appreciate every single one of you tuning in to these AMU shows. So until the next one, guys, later.